Hello and welcome back to another review with me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whisky. This week I've got something that I really don't know much about, but the price was great when we break it down for what it potentially could be. So this is Ben Bracken. Maybe a lot of people might not have heard of this. It's newish to me. I've heard the name around about the whisky scene, but don't know enough about it. So this is Ben Bracken. This is a 19-year-old single malt from Islay. Islay single malt whisky, 43%, aged in oak and a copper still on Islay and produced by Clydesdale. That's all we get from this 43%, 19 years old Islay single malt. I'm going to suggest that there's colouring in there. I'm also going to suggest that there is filtration as well. But 19 years old, this is a supermarket whisky. This is from Lidl, big massive supermarket chain. And I seen this coming out. This was £39.99, £40 for a 19-year-old single malt. Yes, we kind of break down the ABV at 43%, but look at Lagavulin 16. Lagavulin 16 is 43%, there's colouring in there as well. But this is a 19-year-old. That's all I know. On the label, it's kind of all we get. We don't get much more from it. It's not telling us the distillery it's from. It does say it's matured in oak, and it also says it is chill filtered, so we've got some good information there. It's the first I've noticed that. I did plan on uncorking this and opening it so I could do a live kind of first thing, but I got too excited the other night and I wanted to try it. So on the back we've also got Islay single malt Scotch whisky, aged 19 years, and that's really it. There's nothing else to it. There's no type of cask, but I'm going to suggest all kind of bourbon. 19-year-old Lidl is big, so there's a lot of this about as well, but it goes very quickly. I'm going to think there's allocation throughout the UK and maybe world stores that they have. So 19-year-old and £40. That's a really good deal, isn't it, if you think about it? I think one of the good things having this open now is a little chance to breathe. Maybe open up, it's below the neck now. I've had a couple of drams from it and shared a couple. So this is my first proper sit down. Let's have a nose, let's have a taste and see what we get, see if we can find a distillery. There's not many on Islay that we can choose from, so we can potentially whittle it down to 2 or 3 maybe. So this might not be my longest video because I don't know enough. I've not got history, I've not got other cool wee facts about it. I have reached out to Lidl, I have reached out to other people that were involved with this whisky, but they never even got told much either, which is fine. Some secrets are quite good to be kept, aren't they? So let's try this in the nose first, then we'll have it in the palate and we'll go back for a wee chat about it. So if you went in blind in this and you've got a little nose for, you know what peat is and you know what peat isn't, you would know this is a peaty whisky. I would say this is traditional Islay peat as well. Softer, sweeter. It's like a, still got that wee soft coastal hit to it. Yeah, definitely a slight coastal, peat, sweet. It's quite quiet as well on the nose. It's not jumping out like a really good bourbon cask or a refill. It potentially just could be refill bourbon it's been in. It's just lost a bit of that life. But it's a nice peat on the nose. It's not overpowering. It's traditional Islay, I find. If you like Islay whisky, this is a traditional Islay nose. Smoky peat. Light. Slightly oily. Wee tiny hint of chocolate in there as well. It's just the leftovers from burnt wood, you know, when you just make a little fire in the garden, a little homemade barbecue with bits of wood. It's along the lines of that. The fire's just burnt out. It's a kind of grey charcoal from the wood now is what I'm kind of getting from that. Wee bit of lemon now as well. A little bit of citrus trying to come through. It's like my car, it's just not working properly yet just now. Need a couple of changes here and then it'll be magic. As I found it the hard way today, my car's got some issues, so I'm trying to get that fixed. So it's a good day for a dram. But yeah, peat, slightly oily, chocolate, lemon, but quiet, soft. let's try it on the palate then. Slainte, no? It's more kind of grass, hay. The peat's still there. Stays slightly more towards the lemon side of things. The chocolate notes have gone. That kind of sweetness is gone. It is more, would I say bitter? I wouldn't say bitter, but it's not much spice. It's very quick on the finish, but it's quick on the finish, but it's weirdly still on the palate. I know it's 43%, adding a little bit of water, but I just want to see if anything does change on that. It's a quick finish. Peat, grass, oil, a little bit of lemon kind of peel staying around there, burnt lemon maybe. So it's trying to think now where we are with this and what distilleries can it be. I think there's potentially only two that I would suggest this would be from. Would either be Caol Ila or Lagavulin. I think that would be the two. Kind of looking at Bruichladdich, I don't think this is anything close to what they would have Port Charlotte wise. Bowmore is a little quieter on the peat. For me, I don't think it's them. Caol Ila, Lagavulin have that kind of highway. Ardbeg, just too much peat. Compared to this, like, I love it. I love Ardbeg, but I think it's not an Ardbeg. I am very veering towards Caol Ila or Lagavulin, and I think with that maybe grassy hay note is potentially more Caol Ila. If I remember, I've not got much Caol Ila. I've not had Caol Ila for a while. The ones that I have got are kind of wine finishes and sherried finishes, so it'd be good to try just a standard peated Caol Ila. But the water's not done much on the nose here. Still that kind of peaty way, it's still coastal, still the oils in there, it's like kind of oily, thicker note. The lemon stays more than the kind of that soft chocolate powder I was getting in the first, like cocoa powder in the first place. Do you know, it's a nice dram. It's not bad, it's not amazing, it's in between. It's £40 for a 19-year-old single malt from Islay. And for me, I'm torn between Caol Ila and Lagavulin on it. I think I'm going to read more towards this being Caol Ila, quiet Caol Ila cask, because other way my thinking is that this is a 19-year-old single malt for £40. How could you justify selling it for £40? Like, but Lidl obviously have a huge buying power. I'm just thinking it's quieter cask, because this is a very quiet whiskey. It has nice tones of peat, it has nice tones of that little lemon coming through, it has a nice kind of mouthfeel, but it's a quick finish. So I think the casks that have been sold to them and then been bottled from have just been a little bit quieter than what they're quite, well, say Caol Ila for instance, if we go with Caol Ila, are happy to sell. It's nice, it's £40. I would probably pick another one up. I think this is one that, I say, I'm not too far down it. This could get better again. Bottles do have that, they do get better age at time if they've been sitting there, or sometimes they've been sitting in the bottle too long. It can do the opposite effect. But I like it. Nice grassy notes, hay, kind of dried hay, dry grass on the palate. It's just a quiet nose. It's just a quiet dram. You know, maybe not, it's not going to knock your socks off, but if you gave someone a dram of this kind of blind and you went, that was a 19-year-old Islay, how much do you think you paid for that? They're probably going to say, oh, £15 for that dram maybe. Well, how about £40 for the bottle? I would go out and buy it again if I could find it. I think I would just have another one just to be there. I think it's cool. It's, if you have a collection, you're starting to get into whiskey, to have an old whiskey like this, 19 years of age, for £40 on your shelf's pretty cool. You know, it's one you could break out for nice occasions and things. So I would maybe get another one just for the price point alone. I think £40 a good price for this, for the quality of it. I like it, I don't love it, but I definitely don't hate it. I do like it, and I'm pretty sure I'll revisit this. And it's easier to revisit as well because of the price. Lagavulin 16, I've got one on the shelf, but I seem to veer away from that unless there's a good day to have it. You know, I'm celebrating something, I would reach for the 16 because it's hard to replace. It's hard to justify £70, £80, but I can get 3 years older for £30, £40 less. So it's an easy one to reach for. But I'm going to go and sit back. I'm going to go and finish this. I'm going to rejig potentially my shelf as well, because I've not done it for a wee while, and see if I've got stuff hiding away that I've not seen for a while. But I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go and sit back and enjoy. As I say, I can't find much about it. I've spoken to people that I thought might have been in the know, but difficult, and Lidl haven't got back to me either. And I do think they'll keep their lips sealed on it and they won't tell me who it is. But I'm going to say, I'm going to put my cards on the table and I'll say Kalila. Someone else might say something different, but that's the joy of whiskey, isn't it? It's enjoyable to find out. But £40, go and get yourself one if you want to have an old whiskey there, maybe a good Christmas gift as well. But as always, I've been Kevin from Kevin Granton Whisky. Join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slainte.